The heavy hitters are outside of our Beacon Hill studio. Peter Kadgis of the Boston Phoenix, a man working on marketing United States vuvuzelas as we speak.
I've got the market cornered.
Peter Kadgis, excuse me.
We've got a shipping container of them over in Boston.
I bet you do. Cosmo Macero Jr. Man, quite impressed to hear that Gene Levanchi was at a Styx concert this weekend.
They got to be the biggest wuss band in the history of rock and roll. I mean, how lame is Dennis DeYoung if Styx had to throw him out of the band for being too much of a wuss?
Fair point.
I guess I'm not surprised that Gino was that.
Wow. Throwing down the gauntlet.
Wow.
Warner was in the show at least.
Wow. I'm sorry. That's coming off the ropes.
That was coming off the ropes. Peter, let's start with you. Let's talk BP here. Not about how much oil continues to leak out of that hole. We know yachting or golfing, which one is your favorite pastime?
Everyone's making a lot about nothing. I'll tell you how I spent my weekend. Digging holes, planting things, pulling up weeds. Now,
I think I'd rather go to the Styx concert myself.
Is that work or... My wife tells me it's relaxation.
Yeah.
I say it's work. All I know is golfing or yachting would be an alternative.
Well, the White House Deputy Press Secretary sort of takes a shot at Tony Hayward for yachting. Of course, the president was golfing at the time that he did it. You got any problems with any of this?
Hypocrisy runs rampant. You know, this is... it's a ridiculous sideshow. We could do without it. Look, I'm not defending BP. I'm defending his right to do what he wants on his day off. I'm all in favor of crucifying corporate criminals, so let's not forget that. But this is just a ridiculous little kerfluffle.
Is this sort of a wag the dog, Cosmo? Since neither of them have answers, let's start some sideshow that gets people worked up in a little Jersey-licious style.
Bomb England.
I haven't been on a yacht since I saw the Flying Wasp at the boat show a couple of years ago. Other than that,
nice reference.
I'd probably choose golf. I'll go back to what I said a week ago about something similar. In the summer, I have a hard time criticizing people for doing vacation-like things and during summer vacation. With that said, if you're BP, you really have to recognize how this looks, the optics of it, to use a Weasley consultant word, and they've been tone deaf from day one on how these things look, and I think there's something to be said for doing the right thing with
something snarky about the deputy press secretary making light of them yachting, though. I mean, does anybody really want to have them dropping jokes like that?
Yeah, I mean, and the president's off playing golf, so everyone needs to understand. Hey, if I'm going to criticize on one front, I better make sure that my guy is doing the right thing on the other. So
you expect this out of Biden, but not out of the deputy press secretary. Speaking of the White House, Peter, we're hearing rumors of shakeup now. Budget director is supposedly going to resign either today or tomorrow. Rahm Emanuel, the big rumor is on the way out. They're just going to wait a little because they think it's going to look bad if he goes so quickly. What does this mean?
As usual, it doesn't mean much. First, the budget director, when he came into office, had said he was planning on spending about 2 years. He's about to get married.
But his work is done? We have a $20 trillion deficit now?
No, it's that they're about to begin work on the next budget. So he thinks the next budget director should be in there. As for Rahm Emanuel, the reason I'm dismissing this is, saying Rahm Emanuel's leaving the White House would be like saying the Celtics were going to sweep the Lakers in 6. I mean...
okay, I'm going to disagree. I think actually
that was a shot at your Celtics prediction. You sort of did bungle it, did you know?
I understand. I think it's actually very significant that Rahm Emanuel is probably leaving.
He's the poster
child
of this
leaving.
administration, isn't
I'm saying that he's not leaving.
That's the rumor. And here's why it's a rumor. Number one, let's understand that average shelf life for White House Chief of Staff, about 2 years, so it wouldn't be that unusual. I really think he lost a big chunk of his power over this healthcare thing. He advocated pulling back. Let's pass a smaller bill. Let's pass something that we can get through. Let's pass something that's going to be easier to do a compromise with the Republicans. And Obama and David Axelrod said no, and they won. So I think he ceded a bunch of his power there. And if you're chief of staff and if you lose your power, you're dead. And I think that may be what's going on here. Now, is the rumor true or not? Well, I'm not in Washington, but if it is, I'd say that's why.
Usually with this smoke, there's fire on this stuff. We'll see in 6 months.
But the people fanning the flames of this rumor have been wrong about so many other things in the past.
They were involved in the Sandra Bullock rumors.
Well, Michael Wolff and some other things. So
quickly, we got about a minute and a half, gentlemen. Let's talk about the building behind us, because tomorrow they take up casino debates, and they're going to try and merge this House plan with the Senate plan, which are wildly different. One has slots at racinos, the other does not. One makes way for a sort of a condition for Indians to get a casino. One may or may not. One wants 2 casinos, one wants 3 casinos. Cosmo, what are we going to get, and how soon are we going to get it?
Probably ought to remind viewers that my firm works for Mohegan Sun, one of the companies in the mix here for a casino in Palmer and Western Mass. I've said from the beginning that I think the ingredients are there for a compromise. You're right, both bills are vastly different. Both have good elements to it. Keep in mind, just on the racinos piece, let's pick one. Certainly the Speaker has advocated for slots at the tracks and been in favor of that. But if you think about his district and the tracks in his district, it's very possible that through the partnership that they have, a destination resort can be the solution there. And that may be the root of a compromise for him on that issue.
Is there any way DeLeo yields on slots at the tracks, Peter? And is there any way he yields on that without getting a casino in his district?
I find it hard. If he yields, I would bet that he gets a casino. Listen, the racino thing is a bad idea. And the reason it's a bad idea is you're just giving a gift, a subsidy to these businesses that are already on their last legs. But I think Cosmo's assessment, even though his firm's a player in the game, is very statesmanlike, and I think he's given the viewers a pretty clear view of the dynamics behind the scenes.
Peter Kadges of the Boston Phoenix, Cosmo Macero, O'Neill & Associates there. The hitters, Cosmo, give me a little Mr. Roboto as we go to break.
Absolutely not.